So the next thing that I have here is the San Francisco mayor, right? And this
Yes,
actually,
the
it
one at
gave
the
me...
bar. I think I have that clip
and
too.
it gave me a little bit of hope, actually, in the end. And I'll tell you why once we get there. But the San Francisco mayor, what did you say their name is?
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh.
I think I have the clip.
Doesn't matter. So I thought you said her name. But the mayor of San Francisco went to a concert for Tony.
Tony.
There was a video of her dancing and being up from her table and not wearing a mask. And so I was not irate about it. That's not what we're talking about this. But it, again, just like the Met Gala, just like the Emmys, highlights the separation of classes there, because when she gets called on it, her excuse is like, well, I don't really see why this even matters, because, you know, Tony was playing and they haven't been together in 20 years. And I
was
think
feeling
that,
it.
I think that it's
London
sad
Breed is her
that
name.
and I think that it's sad that that's not getting more coverage. And yeah, I was feeling it. And no, I'm vaccinated. So no, I'm not going to wear my mask the whole time. And I'm not going to take a sip and put my mask on and take a sip and put my mask on, right? So that's kind of the reason I got a little bit of hope, because I'm like, they might be starting to understand why this is so fucking ridiculous, right? Why all of this has been so ridiculous, that the extent that some of this has gone to is so fucking ridiculous. Because in California, in San Francisco, that's their own policy.
Yep.
Remember to put your mask on in between each sip and bite. That is in their public health documents in California. That is actively happening right now. So that's what you've been pushing. That's what people have to do when they're not you in California, right? So I feel like, and maybe that's false hope, I don't know, but it gave me a little bit of hope that I'm like, they might be starting to see that it's overboard. It's too much. It's way too much. You know? And what do you think about that? Is it false hope? Am I too...
I'm black-pilled as fuck on this one. No. This is just...
It's too late.
This is just another...
She just got caught.
An elitist piece of shit who is holier than thou, who knows better than you do how you should be living your life, just like Gavin Newsom, who has no fear. They have no fear of the virus, but they insist that you should be fucking terrified, and that you should close your doors, you should be rolling around in masks everywhere. You should probably be double masking. Double masking went away recently. I don't know if you've really noticed, it just kind of dipped out. But no, this is hypocrisy. They're just trying to cover their ass and make an excuse, and they're going to get away with it because they are the elite. Nobody can tell them no. They can go out and do whatever they want, and people are going to be listening to them and be like, yeah. But then they're still going to have the mandates out there. They're still going to have the policies and I'm not going to call them laws. I need to quit calling them laws, because they're not laws. They're regulations. They're imposed. They're like a law, but they're just imposed on you. There's no
The executive orders.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I am super black-pilled on this. No way in hell this is going to start a trend. I would love it to. And if it actually happened, I will eat crow all day long for this thing. I will publicly post on Twitter, just like Bill Maher did. Or no, Sam Harris did. And I would be super happy to be wrong about this. But I don't think I am. I think this is just another elite move it's an elite power move to say I can do whatever I want and there's nothing you can do about it, because I get to tell you how to live your life. You don't get to tell me shit.
Yeah, you're probably
right. I'm sorry, I'm bringing the room down.
No, you're probably right.
Crushing morosity achieved.
This last one is going to take us into our next topic, unless you have anything else that you want to say about
Go
COVID
for it.
right now.
Nope.
So this next one is going to take us to our next topic, and it's going to be the border. Maxine Waters. Right?
Oh, yes.
The images.
It's worse than slavery, bro.
The images of the Border Patrol officers on horseback allegedly whipping Haitian migrants. And it's good. You have a horse background, so this is going to be
I've
good
been waiting
you.
for this. I have been waiting all fucking
and we're
week
not
for
gonna
this.
This is not the main point of this discussion. We are going to talk about it because it's been such an enormous deal, but
that's why it's a perfect segue, I think.
So Maxine Waters, I'm sure everybody has seen these pictures, right? And so when Maxine Waters gets asked about these pictures, she says, it's worse than what we saw during slavery. So there are no actual pictures of CBP officers making contact with the reins with Haitian individuals, right? Just in pictures that look like they are whipping these individuals with split reins, right? I believe is what they're called, or just at least long reins. They're
just reins.
Yeah, so
all reins are long.
So
Well, most, yeah.
Yeah, so Maxine Waters says it's worse than what we saw in slavery. We've now seen that the photographer who took these pictures came out and said that is not at all what happened. I didn't see anybody get whipped by Border Patrol. That never happened. He said, I understand how you could see that or you could think that looking at the pictures, but that's not at all what happened. So I have a couple of different clips on this that we can play because, I mean, it made the rounds. It was, I mean...
Oh, all of last weekend, it ran, the storylines were Border Patrol whipping people on horseback.
Yeah.
Those were the headlines, and then they slowly started to change.
Yes. Joe Biden, said that people were going to pay for it, and so...
Yeah, they've already removed the horse-mounted Border Patrol. They suspended that. They're not allowed to use horses anymore.
Yeah, and those officers are on administrative duty, so they're at desks now.
Yeah, and so just to add some actual context to this, because I re-listened to Shapiro's episode on
conversation up on your. I'm sorry, I didn't
ready to
interrupt
go.
You. I just
nope. I should get the notification when it arrives. Okay. But I re-listened to the Ben Shapiro show from Friday when he attempted to talk about it, and again had an ignorant take on it, talking about using the reins to whip the flank of a horse so that it can maneuver and stuff like that, which is patently absurd. It can work, but that's not how you navigate a horse. No, you use the reins, which are attached to a bit or attached to a bridle, which has a bit that runs through their mouth, and you gently and ever so slightly use leg pressure and you move your hand with the reins in it to lead the horse's head one way or another to get it to move in different directions, right? Yeah, you're steering the horse. But it's kind of like it's a really rudimentary way to do it. It's kind of base level. At the end of the day, if you're a decent horseman and you have a good horse that you've trained with, and there's a bond thing that takes place. There's a trust thing with horses and stuff. You don't need to do that.
Horses are mad smart.
It's very strange. Yeah, technically, I think horses are dumbass animals, but
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. But as far as the greater grand scheme of things, they're pretty intelligent.
On a scale of animals.
Yes. Ain't no dolphin, but they're like a toddler.
Like a dog or something.
You can train them very well to do different things. Teach a dog to use
buttons and shit.
Yeah. But no, the whole reporting about all of this just drove me up a wall, because the elite divide here is again taking place because you have these established media institutions that push truth out there are getting it totally wrong because they have no idea what they're talking about. And they obviously didn't talk to anybody that knows anything about horses or riding horses. None of what was reported over the weekend seemed to be accurate in that aspect. It was full of bad takes. Everybody had a bad take. Maxine Waters out there doing what she does best, getting everybody riled up about some, would you call that misinformation or disinformation? It's just a bunch of lies and bullshit is what it was. And she's really good at getting that out there.
It's misinformation until you know for certain that they weren't being whipped. I mean, it's wrong. It's completely false, no matter what. So probably disinformation, because regardless, even if they were being whipped by the Border Patrol, it's still not worse than what we saw during slavery, because people in slavery were literally killed. They were literally actually murdered by individuals who had power over them.
Yeah.
They were whipped until they were unrecognizable from behind.
Yep.
There are pictures you can find on the internet of people whose backs are unrecognizable because they are so scarred from lashings.
Oh, yeah. It's disgusting.
To in any way, and for a black person to in any way compare the images of slavery, not even the true capacity and understanding of slavery, but the images from slavery to what we saw, the alleged actions of Border Patrol officers, is a disgrace to her as a representative.
Yeah.
And removes all legitimacy from her at any point in time.
Oh, yeah.
The little that she had before, if any,
it
should be gone. There is no reason that she should even retain her office in the next cycle.
Hard no, but you will.
If I was a black person, I would be deeply. I am generally offended by it anyway, because it's so counterfactual.
As an American
who appreciates history, that is counterfactual. Yep. You are belittling what happened during slavery.
Yeah.
Right. What I will wholly accept is a black mark on this country, potentially the black mark on this country. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You are diminishing that to an unrecognizable figure
Yep.
by comparing that to the alleged action of Border Patrol officers in 2021
Yep.
at Del Rio. It's ludicrous.
And Will asks a question here real quick.
Will Wallace.
He says, okay, so if you are trying to control a horse in a confined space, so,
Yes.
and he does quotes for confined because you're talking about, you see the
In
pictures,
between
tight
individuals,
tight
yeah,
spaces, you're trying to correct, make sure people don't cross and all this.
Outside, but
would you
individual.
not have to jerk the reins to quickly turn the horse?
Potentially.
Potentially, yeah. It really comes down to a case-to-case deal. And when you, depending on what bridle and stuff you're sporting like that, and what your tack setup is, hopefully you guys can see my hands here. If this is like centered on a horse, right? Generally, while you're just cruising, you're holding your reins. They're coming up through like that. You keep them centered. You move about that much. Generally, how tight your reins are at that point, you move 6 inches one way, that horse is 90 degree, and depending on how much training is behind it, you might have to give them a little tap, and they will know to do that because that's the training and that's the relationship you guys have.
Right.
It's all just very very
it depends.
situational.
Yeah, it
And
depends.
I could see tensions high. Yeah, you're out there like, whoo, whoo. But again, you're moving this much. You're
Right.
moving this much, and that's enough to like throw you off the damn horse if it turns fast enough, man.
Yeah, and
it really
there are
is.
different reports of that there were migrants that were that would try and run away, and so
Yeah.
they would chase them on horseback to try and get them back. They would
Yeah.
herd them back into this group because I saw a video from Fox News. After the government tried to shut down the airspace, Fox News legitimately just a solid single file line across the Rio Grande,
man.
and then a hard right turn down that dirt road, and then just straight into the open air facility underneath
Open
the
air
overpass.
facility.
Yeah,
Yeah, call that a facility. Yeah, we'll look
the
at the pictures.
fenced-in area. I
Yeah.
mean, it's the same thing as the one that we saw.
It
with
looks like
with
the
migrants.
California homeless camps.
Yeah, well, and the same thing that we saw earlier this year with the South American migrants. And
Yeah.
just a different part of the border, you
Yep.
know.
Just a different area.
And I saw or heard from Alejandro Mayorkas they had 30,000 interactions over 10 days.
Oh,
and there
man.
was a maximum of 15,000 people in that one facility.
That is wild, man.
Yes, there is since no more people. I did send those 2 videos over, so they should be on
perfect.
the signal.